Welcome back. So today's explainer sits right at this absolutely wild, high-stakes intersection of cutting-edge technology and personal wealth. You know, the days of just trusting your gut, calling up a broker on a landline, or drowning in these massive stacks of physical financial reports. Yeah, those days are fading fast. A totally new, automated era is here, and we're going to unpack exactly how the whole shebang works. Think about this for a second. What if artificial intelligence could actually help you make smarter investment decisions in seconds instead of hours? Just imagine reclaiming all that time you've spent agonizing over charts at 2 a.m., reading endless quarterly reports, and endlessly second-guessing your portfolio choices. We're talking about utilizing AI to rapidly analyze stocks with a level of speed that is, frankly, superhuman. But the ultimate question we have to answer is, can it actually help you grow your money? Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. The AI Investing Revolution, Transforming Wealth Management. AI is literally shifting the tectonic plates of the financial world right under our feet. It's actively changing the way people predict market trends and ultimately grow their wealth. So throughout this explainer, we'll be exploring the specific tools investors are using right now, the absolutely undeniable advantages they offer, and, perhaps most importantly, the critical risks you absolutely must know before you even think about trusting a machine with your hard-earned cash. Moving right along. Section 2. Conquering the data mountain. Processing the unthinkable. To really grasp the value of AI in finance, you first have to understand the sheer overwhelming volume of daily information the modern investor is up against. Millions. Literally millions. That's the staggering number of financial articles, in-depth earnings reports, and market-focused social media posts published every single day. I mean, if you try to sit down and read it all yourself, you'd need a dozen lifetimes. By the time you finished one report, the market would have closed, opened, and closed again. But AI, it categorizes all of this before you've even finished your morning coffee. So, the real superpower here, it's processing speed. By analyzing these massive amounts of data in literal seconds, AI is able to spot hidden patterns that human investors might easily and, understandably miss. This incredible speed is precisely what allows algorithmic investors to react vastly faster to market-moving news. When a major financial event hits, the algorithm has already digested the info and mapped out historical precedents before a human has even finished reading the headline. It's wild. All right, Section 3. Building the perfect portfolio, professional style investing for everyone. And this brilliantly illustrates how we shift our focus from just gathering data to the actual decision-making process. This is where AI democratizes professional-level wealth management, taking tools once reserved exclusively for Wall Street elites and putting them right in the hands of everyday folks. It highlights the core difference between us and the machines. As human investors, we're naturally susceptible to our own psychology. We're driven by fear during a sudden crash, or greed during a massive bull run. Emotion just clouds judgment. But the AI completely removes those destructive emotions from the equation. It relies strictly on historical data, established trends, and rigorous probability models. It's making smarter decisions based purely on the math. Taking it a step further, many platforms are now basically letting AI run the whole show in the background. These systems will automatically rebalance your investments as the market fluctuates. They're actively working to reduce unnecessary risk, and they continuously keep your portfolio perfectly aligned with your long-term financial goals. This is highly sophisticated, continuous risk reduction that just works silently behind the scenes, making professional-style investing incredibly accessible for everyone. Next up, Section 4. Can AI predict trends? Finding hidden market patterns. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that it addresses a highly tantalizing question, one that gets a ton of hype. Can AI actually predict market trends? Can it see into the financial future? Well, to spot these hidden patterns, AI models aren't just glancing at a single stock's chart. They're actively synthesizing years and years of historical price movements, broad sweeping economic data, and incredibly complex investor behavior models. By layering all these specific inputs together, the algorithm is essentially looking for echoes of the past in today's market. But, and this is a massive but, AI is definitely not a magical crystal ball. Actually, scratch that. It's more like a really advanced weather radar. It cannot guarantee predictions or tell you exactly what a stock will do tomorrow. However, by crunching all that data, it equips investors with highly valuable, probability-based scenarios. It helps you prepare for a variety of different market directions, so you're never caught entirely off guard. Basically, you're replacing blind guessing with calculated preparation. Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 5, risks you cannot ignore, the limitations of algorithmic investing. I actually want to deliberately slow down our pacing here for a second because while the promise of AI is absolutely immense, the risks are serious and totally unavoidable. Consider this specific quote right from our source material. AI is powerful, but it's not magic. Treat this as your reality check, okay? Algorithms are incredibly proficient inside a closed mathematical system, but we live in the chaotic, messy, real world. And in the real world, AI has very real vulnerabilities.
Markets are deeply, messily human and intensely reactive to unpredictable disruptors. Think about it: a sudden trade embargo, a totally unforeseen election result, or a rapidly escalating global conflict. Algorithms struggle immensely to accurately predict the financial fallout of these uniquely human, chaotic events. When chaos just erupts unexpectedly out of nowhere, the historical data the AI relies on might suddenly become completely irrelevant.
Which brings us to Section 6, your new financial assistant, synthesizing AI and human judgment. So, the crucial point is, where does that leave us? Well, experts highly recommend using AI as a super-powered research assistant, not as a total replacement for your own judgment. It is a highly capable tool that informs your financial decisions. It can crunch the data, spot the trends, and filter out all that emotional noise. But to actually succeed, that still requires you. It requires human patience, smart diversification, and your own careful research to validate what the algorithm is suggesting. Which brings us to the very end of our explainer today, and I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to chew on. With everything we've just covered, the superhuman speed, the emotionless data processing, but also those very real blind spots when it comes to global chaos, would you trust AI to help manage your investments? It's a question every single modern investor is going to have to answer for themselves as we step further into this automated future. Thank you so much for diving into this with me today, and keep learning.